Not your mother's comic book podcast. Get it out of your head.
Get out of here, Mom.
I don't. My mom doesn't even
Not for
know.
moms.
No moms allowed.
No moms. Only dads.
It's okay.
So what looked interesting to you this week?
Domain, actually. I read the first one, and this is the second issue of Domain. A lot of it is, they just got these, like, gauntlets things that all three of them can have, but only one of them at a time can use it, which is, like, such a weird, like, inhibitor, but also, like, it's kind of funny in certain instances, just like, wow, this super powerful thing, but they can only use it for, like, 15 minutes at a time, and also only one at a time. And also it needs to recharge.
Why is it only between the three of them?
Because they're the only ones that got the gauntlets out of the spaceship in the first one. So the spaceship crashed. They found aliens with these gauntlets on them. One of them was just like, yay, we killed the aliens, let's put it on.
Wait, did the humans kill those aliens, or did the crash kill the aliens?
The humans killed 2 of the aliens, if I remember correctly, but the crash killed one of them or put them in critical condition, and they ended up abducting one of the aliens. So role switch there. And because of that, they happen to get their gauntlets. They have 4 of them, but there's only 3 of them there. Which one is like this huge like space nerd, and of course the space nerd. All these 3 people are space nerds. And of course they're the people to find the spaceship that crashed the extraterrestrial. And it's funny because they also give you another side story of the head of the extraterrestrial department for the U.S. And she's like played off as a joke, but like her story is like actually I think the most serious out of all of them, because some of the stuff introduced within the main character stories is like, yeah, I did this thing, and then like we never really come back to it, and I guess it's gonna play more later on. The book does end up going into the aliens that did survive the ship crashing went into this bar, and all these people are drunk, and so they're like, oh, these Halloween men. Oh, look at them.
They're cosplayers.
And so the extraterrestrial division sees the ship, finds the ship crash, is like, aliens are real. The government's trying to cover it up. They dismiss the head of the extraterrestrial division, which this department is 2 people, by the way. So he dismisses them as like, you know, your department's a joke. We don't actually think that you're supposed to be in charge of this thing.
Wow.
Yeah. And so this like general, colonel, whatever, dismisses them.
Sorry.
And is like, go sit down and play whatever. And so he takes over, and this extraterrestrial head of extraterrestrial division wants to go out and be like, no, I'm not a joke, I'm gonna go and find these aliens, because I know these guys are just gonna search through Twitter to find out what everyone has to say about them.
Twitter.
So she's responding to the bar call, the call that people got from the bar whenever the aliens came to visit.
Yeah.
Because they were chill. They were chilling out at first.
Were they drinking with the humans?
Yeah, they were like, you're not half bad.
Is it the
like,
pirate group?
It is these guys.
The pirate guys.
Oh, those are cool.
So these guys went into the bar and were like, let's just scope out the place for a little bit. And they became friends with these bartenders. It's like, well, now time to mess some stuff up. And then they just start hurting people. Like, they just out of nowhere.
Oh, they turned on the humans?
Not even, I don't even want to say turn on. It just seems like a game to them.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's like,
they probably seem as lesser beings. Like, alright.
Yeah, it's like, alright, let's wrap this up. Like, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And so the extraterrestrial division lady is responding to them. And main story, the heroes are adapting to only one of them having to, or being able to use it at a time. And one of the guy in the group is kind of just like, what are you guys doing? Don't use this in public. We're going to have the CIA after us, essentially. And these 2 people, one of them threatens their landlord to not evict somebody. And then the other person helps a lady that's having an argument with her boyfriend. She goes up and just punches the guy and knocks him a few feet back, which I don't know where they get the strength from. The whole gimmick of their power is that they understand, like, how to do things based off of the intellect of other people in the radius of the power. So, like, they're able to figure out how to do things just from, like, connecting with other people and learning their skill set. Like, that's their power.
The other people with the gauntlets?
The people with the gauntlets connect with other human beings and steal their skill sets. So then, I don't know where this strength comes from, or the ability to jump super high, or like fighting really well makes sense, because maybe somebody nearby knows how to fight. But this person, like, straight up, like, punches them and they fly away. Like, I don't know where this strength comes from.
So the gauntlet's powers only come from people that are in its radius. It doesn't come from the actual gauntlet itself.
The gauntlet gives you the ability to learn or get the skill set of any human being within that radius. So the gauntlet is the power, like is the thing that allows you to do that, but you actually get the abilities from the people around you.
But how much would you actually gain from a human, though? You know, I don't understand if it was like
That's what
the alien
Yeah,
powers
that's
or whatever.
Mhm.
But
But
in the first issue, they like crashed their van or something into a
Mhm.
tree,
Yeah.
and then one dude activates the gauntlet, and he's like, "Oh, there just so happens to be a mechanic, and I know how to fix this van."
Yeah.
And it's like weird stuff like that.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
So,
then,
but
yeah,
I
it's a good
guess-
question. Where is the super strength coming from?
Yeah, so now I'm like, well, I guess that it has other powers.
Yeah.
Because
It's got other
she's
things,
also
like-
like dangling some dude by his foot off a
Yeah.
building, the landlord, and just being like, "You stop that right now!" And like, how are you able to hold this guy up by his foot over the ledge? And you're like this tiny, like petite woman, essentially. There's just a lot of like, oh, this is happening, but it's also like really, it's if you love books like the Fast and Furious franchise, but a few steps back. Like
What?
not as crazy, you know what I mean? Like, but it's still
no.
like turn your brain off a little bit and then enjoy what you're seeing.
I see.
Yeah,
Tokyo
That
Drift.
makes sense.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think it is a good comic. It's just not meant for everyone, especially people who want like deep lore and like
Yeah.
all this stuff, because it's a book within a book. And I think the idea is that stuff gets watered down once you go like several layers deep,
Yeah.
which I think is honestly really cool. But
Like it's kind of sounding like, I don't know if you know much about lore of like Power Rangers.
mhm.
It kind of seems like that. They come across an alien
Oh,
with
yeah,
things,
Power Rangers.
and it gives them a device that they're connected to the power grid, so it gives them powers and knowledge of how to use their things and whatnot. But these guys are kind of like, they're not really using it for the benefit of people. They're using it for their own benefits right now. And then also they have the other aliens that are like looking just to cause trouble,
Mhm.
just to mess around. That does seem kind of fun. I'm kind of more interested into the aliens actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the head of the department being like, I'm gonna make this department not a joke, and then the aliens being like, all right, we're done. Like,
Yeah.
that is so, like, I really love following that story. I always kind of, like, not confused, but definitely got jarred from, like, going from that to the
Mhm.
heroes of our story and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
I don't know if I like them.
yeah.
Low key, I don't know if I like the heroes of the story, to be honest.
Yeah, because, like, the first thing you learn is that one of them are cheating on their significant other.
Oh!
Yeah.
Ooh. No,
Like, that's
no
literally
tea,
one of
no
the
cheaters.
first things you learn about them, and then they're like, the other two friends are just not paying attention. It's like, we got this cool alien artifact. So then it's like, you're not paying attention to your friend who's like confiding in you as well, even if
Yeah.
it is bad. Like, it's just hard to like
We
these
have
characters.
superpowers now.
Yeah,
no one
exactly.
cares about your love life.
They like start arguing about like something really silly, but also like in universe, I guess it makes sense for their characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like we're all gonna become like power mad, and then the other people are like, do you really think we would do that? Wow, that's like, it's like whoa.
Wow, anywho, landlord, lower my rent.
Yeah, for real. And it's like the other lady wanted to be a hero so badly, but like, yeah, that's the kind of thing that pushed
Wow.
her.
So I read DC vs. Vampires, World War
Wait,
5.
it is.
Yeah, you were excited about this.
No, it's World War V.
World War
It's
V.
not
World War
War
5.
V.
I've been very excited for this one because
Yeah.
DC vs. Vampires was one of my favorite, probably my second favorite. My first favorite is probably DC's. 'Cause that one's
DC's is
so
really
good.
good.
I feel like there's a lot more emotion and
Oh, for
drama
sure.
in
You
DC.
definitely feel one's death and
Yeah.
deceased.
DC Vampires though, close second for sure.
Mhm.
So I've been really excited, especially because the first series kind of just ended on a really weird cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I was actually on Reddit because I was trying to see if they were doing more, like when it originally first ended, and I was like, are they doing like another series? And everybody was just like, there's nothing announced yet.
Mhm.
Who knows? And like there was a lot of people that was actually really unhappy with the ending of the first series because it was just super open ended. It was like a cliffhanger, but
Mhm.
like just it
It was
wasn't
two
a cliff.
cliffhangers.
Yeah,
It's
it
two
just
cliffhangers.
it didn't even feel like a cliffhanger ending where like you can
Mhm.
end something on a cliffhanger and be like, oh, what's gonna happen next? But it was literally like in the middle of the story, it just ended, and I was just like, 'cause there was like all this build up to all these things that they were doing, and then it was just over, and I was just like,
Yeah.
So, anyways, great to finally have this one. come out.
It looks like some time has passed.
A little
Because like
bit,
John
yeah.
Constantine and Green Arrow have a beard now and
Yeah.
everything. I don't know if it's been like years or anything.
Yeah.
So it's been like 5 days.
Because it said like at the
Possibly.
beginning it was like what, like 9 months ago or 6 months ago when the lanterns came, and then it was
Yeah.
like now. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, when
I
exactly
think
is
it
now?
probably has not even been a year since Barbara Gordon
Yeah.
killed Nightwing, and she took over and is now Vampire Queen.
Yeah.
There's a
Probably hasn't
lot
been that much.
going on.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a
Oh man.
Yeah,
So
This is what I get for only reading like Image.
I know. Yeah, it's tough to get into this one without first reading the first series.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like jumping in at like
So
a
this
major point.
So the
But
first series is which one?
DC vs.
DC
Vampires.
versus Vampires.
Oh, okay.
There's a few spin-offs. It's DC vs. Vampires, and then there is also the 2 one-shot series, Hunters and then Killers, which
Yeah.
they talk about what's going on with Damian Wayne,
Mm.
and then also what's going on with Harley Quinn and like her little crew or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's also DC vs. Vampires All Out War, which is really cool because it's in black and white, and it follows along.
Black,
Uh,
white, and red.
Yeah, black, white, and red. So it follows along the origin of how Nightwing originally became a
Yeah.
vampire and how he became the king of vampires. And then it followed along Deathstroke and his crew trying to bring back Batman back to life because Batman died very early on.
Yeah. Same thing happened in DC. He was like, he just killed
Yeah,
like,
no,
really
it's
early.
a
No, no, what's it called? Yeah, in DC they killed him off pretty.
Yeah.
Really I don't think
Like
he even
super early on.
came back at all. Talk about what happened in the book though, in this issue.
Oh man! So yeah, it starts off with Damien, I guess, and they stop like a truck that has people on it, like humans, because they're like using them as like cattle, like that. Oh man, there was a movie like that, but I don't remember what it was called. It was with that one guy,
So true.
one guy.
Yeah.
Daybreak, I think.
Daybreak.
Vampire movie. It might not have been David. So anyways, so they're using the people for cattle, and Damien, he's been a vampire pretty much since the beginning of the first series, but he didn't join the other vampires. And I'm really confused on like how exactly that works, because like in the All Out War one, Nightwing was against helping the vampires, and he fought them all off, and then they bit him and turned him into a vampire, and then all of a sudden
like, okay, I'm
he was
for
just
it.
like, yeah, all right. So obviously
right.
there has to be something that the vampirism does, because Wonder Woman, it was the same as Wonder Woman when Green Lantern killed her, and she was like, I'll never join you, and he was like, oh, you will, and then she was like, oh, you're right.
I think like when they turned, they actually were like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll be one of you guys.
So I don't understand why there's some vampires that just immediately join, and then there's other vampires like Damien where he's just like, oh, I don't want to, you know. So see, Damien was turned by Nightwing, who was the vampire king. So he was the leader. So it's just weird how
That's
like
crazy.
other vampires just seem to like get that click in their brain, and the other ones are just like, yeah, we don't want to. So it's really confusing as far as like vampires go.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, Damien, he's got this whole army. They're all dressed up as like Hush. And it doesn't really say why. It's just cause, I guess.
I know.
That's usually
Hush
just
looks
a
cool.
Hush is a cool look,
he
I
looks
guess.
cool,
but
man.
I don't know why they don't have.
It
like,
might. Well, I think those ones that are dressed like Hush are just regular humans that turn into vampires. I don't think they're like specific like heroes or villains, which they have distinctive looks. So I'm assuming like to
Yeah, we can't get the
to-
main characters confused with these civilians.
No, I think just to give. I think them just to show that to the other normal vampires, they're not on their side. You know. I think that's where it's coming from.
Like a uniform.
Yeah.
Well,
I think.
I don't think it's just an actual uniform. I mean, why Hush?
What factory? What clothing line are they gonna go?
Where
with
did they
now?
get all this from? Why didn't they just wear clothes?
They're wearing clothes.
Okay, next season, they
Alright,
have yoga
well.
pants.
So they take the shipment with the cattle, but then they just eat all the people, and the people were like, "Oh, you saved us," and Damien was like, "Saved you," and then they just eat all the people. And I was like, "Okay, who the hell knows what Damien's doing?"
They're just affecting stopping Queen Barbara right now.
Yeah, because it was originally like he was helping the humans in the first series, but now I guess he's kind of trailed off on his own and made his own vampire group, so that he's not working with the humans anymore, and he's working with who was it? Batwoman. and they just don't want to be under the control of Barbara, I guess.
Yeah.
So now it's like this three-way thing, but Barbara, the queen of the vampires, has a treaty with humans, so they're not like actively fighting each other. They're kind of doing whatever, but part of the treaty was that she can't use people as cattle, which she is doing, so she's breaking the treaty anyways. Then she sends Gorilla Grodd, who's now vampire Gorilla Grodd, to the rest of like the main surviving humans, which is like Green Arrow, Constantine, Lois Lane, Talia, and a couple other ones, and he goes to them and warns them to stop Damien, but then they tell Gorilla Grodd that like they're not with Damien anymore. He's just doing his own thing and messing around.
Yeah.
And Gorilla Grodd's like, okay, but
Don't
you gotta
matter.
stop him.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to Barbara and tells them like the humans basically aren't going to do anything about it. And then Barbara's worried because she doesn't want Damien to alert the humans of them moving the cattle because that's her breaking the treaty, and they think that Damien is the humans breaking the treaty even though Damien's not working with them. And Barbara knows that she's not working with them, but she's just trying to make it their problem so that she's not being the bad person because she's the one breaking the treaty and the humans aren't actually doing anything right now. So she's trying to like spin it around and do something. And then all of the Hush vampires attack her castle wherever she's living, her tower or whatever. I don't know.
It's in Gotham City.
Yeah. And then they attack her and they blow it up.
Yeah. No, that one was actually Hush.
That was the actual
That
Hush?
was the one that did it. I'm pretty sure that was the actual Hush.
See, how are we supposed to know? They're all dressed up as Hush.
Yeah. Well, I think he says it. I think.
No, I'm Hush.
Well, not because she sees him and she's like Hush, and he's just like maybe.
Probably. It's that scenario. I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus. You know, I think maybe that's what they're
They're twins. Who do I shoot? Like,
yeah. So.
hey, it's a tactic. You know.
Yeah.
But that one ends with just like. On cliffhanger as well.
And there's going to be 12 issues of this over the span of a year. So it's going to take a long ass time.
They come out once a month. We gotta
Take
wait a whole other month for issue number 2.
Hey.
It's going to take forever.
Masterpieces don't get made in one day. Let me tell you this right now.
I feel like they do.
If you work all day on it, sure. DC Vampires though is really freaking good. I'm so excited. It doesn't time for spooky season. But the books that I read, I actually
A
read.
couple months off.
Little early.
Just
It's spooky season. As soon as it's past 4th of July, it's spooky season.
as soon as it's past 4th of July.
It's crazy.
I've read 2 other books actually, which is
wow.
Green Lantern number 14, which is the Absolute Power tie-in, and then Absolute Power Task Force 7 number 4 go into the Green Lantern tie-in. And from there, it mainly actually focuses on the other Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and how he's infiltrating one of Manowal's base and like looking for his ring. And sure enough, he does. He finds it, but he can't use it because the power's been drained from it. But he can still, if you can find his lantern, you can still charge it up and use it.
Darkest in the day, bright as the night.
You know, in the Green Lantern one, he's infiltrating the base. He's literally just like he has nothing on him, no shoes, no shirt, no nothing. It's kind of funny because he's going around using the different it's got a lot of other villains like equipment in there. He's using that to kind of fight off the guards and everything. Like he comes across javelins, which I know, right? But he throws one of them at the guard, and it's actually like bubble gum, so it's kind of funny. Also comes across his Condiment King's guns.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so he just shoots spicy mustard at the guards.
That sounds goofy.
It's honestly really goofy.
While he's naked.
He has pants on. He has pants on.
No, he has pants on. Don't worry.
He's semi-naked. He's semi-naked. Yeah. I mean, he's doing all these cans so he won't get caught and whatnot. And
so he's semi-naked, has mustard on himself.
No, he threw the mustard at the guys.
Okay, so he's throwing the mustard.
He's throwing the mustard.
So he's
Yeah.
semi-naked and throwing ketchup.
Yeah,
and
but
mustard.
also while this is going on, it goes back into the jail cell of Alan Scott Green Lantern, and he was the one that gave himself up last time when he was figuring out that the Amazo was kind of getting feelings. He was catching feelings, you know what I'm saying? And so he was like, I'll give myself up. Let my team go. He was like, okay, fine. So it actually goes into he's playing chess with Jade Stone. That Amazo, yeah. So like they're just having a good old jolly time playing chess and everything, and like he's trying to get into him and like get to him and everything.
Yeah.
Jade Stone's like, I'm gonna win in 3 moves, and then Alan Scott's like, I thought you were gonna win in 4, but yeah, I knew you were gonna win. He's like, then why do you keep playing? Because it's fun. Because I don't know, free will. You know, I think he's like, you're right. He's like, well, why are you still playing if you know you're gonna win? He's like, oh, he's like, you kind of got me there. Yeah, the Amazo's starting to get feelings and everything. He's starting to realize he has free will and whatnot. But all this happening, the other Green Lantern is breaking and entering. The alarm goes off. Jason goes up to him and goes to. He's about to kill Hal Jordan because he found him, and he's like, do I eliminate or do I let him go? Once again, that free will comes on up, so we don't know like whose side is this Amazo on. You know what he's willing to do. Or
he's just a baby.
He's just a baby. They were only made like yesterday. Yeah. But and
you think I was born yesterday? Well, I was.
Well, right before he was about to make his decision or whatever, Hal Jordan actually came across these little sticks from this little box. Turns out they were wands, and he just goes abracadabra. I don't know.
The last one is like, who knows whose side anyone will be on? It's like, everything is the end of the world, and then it's like abracadabra. Like, what is going on?
This one is so funny. It's so wild.
It's goofy.
It really is goofy, but that's kind of Hal Jordan for you, I guess.
You need a break. You need a break
from everybody.
The absolute power is too serious.
After the last one, absolute power, where they freaking what was it? Not ambush. They attacked the Fortress of Solitude.
Got the whole like speech or whatever.
Yeah, but Nightwing was like, we can do it, and then
and then Queen Brianna was like, you can't do it.
Like, no, you can't. Queen Brianna was like, I took that personally. Yeah, and that one was crazy because they all got them all. They messed them all up and everything. And John Kent, Cyborg. Yeah, this is it. This is a nice tone and everything.
Yeah, bubblegum spears, half naked, throwing mustard and ketchup.
Yeah.
And then fun chess.
A fun little abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
Yeah. But actually, Jade Stone thinks that Hal Jordan killed himself or something like that because an explosion happened. But actually, he was abracadabra. Absolutely. But actually, what happened is that he teleported himself and everything else around him to another base location where, surprisingly enough, coincidentally, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman are hiding now. So he brought them like a bunch of stuff from that base and everything. So at the end, it all kind of works out.
Is that where they teleported to then? Like the whole gang? They made a teleporter in the last.
They made a teleporter.
Everybody, as many people as they could, jump through it.
Oh, they're in Themyscira. That's what it was. I forgot.
So then I assume that's where the teleporter.
I'm assuming that's where the teleporter left them off at because they're in their new suits that they just put on the Fortress of Solitude.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're at Themyscira Resistance Headquarters right now. Yes.
Amazon.
So that's where that one leaves off and whatnot. And then we also dive into right here, Absolute Power Task Force 7. This one involves the failsafe. I thought maybe it would involve another Amazo, but it gets right into a failsafe, which is the Batman Amazo.
So Task Force 7, so is there 7 Amazos? Or is it just the
There's
3?
There's 7 Amazos.
Oh.
They call it Task Force 7 because, the founding members of the Justice League, they usually 7 of them. Yeah. And they all kind of took from their powers. So we got Batman, Aquaman.
What all have they shown so far?
Of what?
The Amazos. I know there's like the Last Sun, Jade Storm.
Failsafe.
Depth Charge?
It's one of those, yes. That's the Aquaman one. Yeah.
And that was it, right? Is Failsafe considered an Amazo, or is he just Failsafe?
No, he's considered an Amazo.
He's one of the 7?
Yeah, he's considered as one of the 7.
So that's
one of the guys.
It's parallel. It's in parallel to the Justice League 7.
But they haven't showed the other ones.
They haven't showed the other ones yet. Except for in the first issue of Absolute Power #1, they showed them all attacking just different groups of people when the whole initial attack started going on.
Right.
Yeah, so there's the Flash one, Wonder Woman one, Aquaman, Green Lantern.
Is there gonna be a test on this?
Yeah.
They haven't had their single issues yet.
Right.
But in this one,
because there's 7 issues. This guy knows what he's on about.
Oh my god! It's like you're writing them.
Quick math. So in this one, he's actually running after Voodoo, which is another one of the smaller, lesser-known heroes. But they're in the maze of the Court of Owls, which is hidden underneath Gotham City.
Mm-hmm.
And she's trying to meet up with Nightwing. So I guess this is where I think they went to. I think everybody teleported to separate different places.
Lord.
Well, in the last issue, the teleporter they made was kind of like on the spot. So I think everybody's kind of ended up in different places with whoever they left with.
Can't believe they could do that. I could have done that better.
Made a teleporter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Nightwing.
I could have abracadabraed.
It's Nightwing, Miss Martian, Ray, Tim Drake, Robin, and also Voodoo's trying to meet up with them as well, while being chased down by Failsafe.
Is Miss Martian related to Martian Manhunter?
Yes, they are.
Same species?
Yeah, the same species. That's her right there. But she's usually shapeshifted into like looking more like a teenage girl. But she's still like kind of the skin color is usually mostly green or whatever. But in this one, her powers are gone, so she has to revert back to her regular alien form.
That's weird because that's like taking away a chameleon's power.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
True.
it's not exactly power. It's just what they can do. So how does that work? You know?
It doesn't excel in any way. It's just normal to them. Like it's their
Yeah.
species. Got it.
Yeah, they were just born with that ability.
Yeah.
You know, it's like also she still has her 2 extra arms and whatnot. So like, why don't those get taken away? Whatever.
Why does Martian Manhunter have 4 arms?
What is?
Do only the females have 4 arms?
Probably only the females. I don't know. I didn't really. I'm not too big on the Martian Manhunter movie, so we're gonna have to find it out.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting really off topic.
Yeah.
There's just all this like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It really has to do
Brother,
with the story.
I don't even know what half things y'all are saying are. Let me
How
tell
do
you.
Martians mate?
Find out next time on This Is Not Your Mother's Comic Book Podcast. No, so essentially, they figure out that Voodoo's getting chased in the maze. They go out there to try and help fight against Failsafe and whatnot, and it's futile. They can't do shit to him. Well, essentially, what ends up happening is they try and save Voodoo. They actually do, but Miss Martin sacrificed herself.
Oh!
Yeah. She.
Now you'll never find
We'll
out the
never
answer.
know the
answer.
We don't know if she's dead. We know
okay.
Failsafe survived. Yeah.
What'd she do?
The Ray.
What's her version of sacrifice?
Yeah, what'd she do?
She took the bag of C4 and she was like,
C4. Dang!
yeah.
Oh.
So like.
Okay, never mind. You will never find out.
We see her body, but from a distance, and Failsafe was like, you tried. But she did give Nightwing and the others a chance to escape.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But
So she had a bunch of C4 strapped to her essentially.
No.
Close to her.
It was in a duffel bag.
And she exploded it and her body's still intact. That's kind of high.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, if she's put together still. Then...
I guess so. I don't know, but fire is a Martian's weakness.
Oh,
though.
true.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But if she doesn't
Please
have her
let me
powers,
I don't
does
know
that count?
I don't know if that's how that works.
Does all the weaknesses go his way as well?
Right? Like, does Kryptonite still work on Superman?
I mean, I guess not, because when Flash flew by with the kryptonite, it wasn't bothering him, it was just affecting John.
So that's pretty much where this Task Force
crazy.
issue ends out, and so yeah, so a lot going on in this arc in this summer event of Absolute Power.
I'm ready for it to be over, but like in a good way. Cause
I
Yeah.
want to see the end. I want to see where this goes, but this is gonna go on. How many issues are there of Absolute?
There's only 4.
Yeah, of Absolute Power.
I can just import all the story into my brain and know what happens, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I can't wait for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, it's crazy. But I think that's it. Oh, good heavens. Okay. We definitely went
Oh,
over.
heavens.
Somebody was getting really off topic.
We went really
Who was that?
over our time limit. We exceeded over. This has been
Hey.
Not Your Mother's Comic Book Podcast with Atlas, Ray, and me. We'll see you guys next time.
Abracadabra.